Hello viewers, welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship held at Imola. Interesting track, a good couple of interesting races previous. I wouldn't say incident packed as in cars crashing with each other. Certainly been interested in relation to cars actually coming off. Quite quickly. Sorry, I might have had a sound problem there, my apologies. I'll restart that just in case. Welcome eSeniors to watching the GT3 Championship being held at Imola. We're in the GT4s today, and what I was saying when before I realised I had a sound problem was that it's an interesting track this. I don't think we're going to see incidents between cars, but I think we will see incidents with cars going off track. Certainly in the last 10-15 minutes the tyres will go off, and consequently that's really going to add to the excitement of what's going on. I just want to thank our sponsors, www.preciouswashers.co.uk, for sponsoring our ACC TV stream. They're allowing us to carry on providing this great service for you guys, and obviously it's all about spreading the word. And if you're new to the stream, please click the like button and click the subscribe button. What we'll do is we'll jump straight into qualifying. Jump on board with someone, and what we'll do is we'll do a lap guide. So Terry is just coming towards the end of his lap, so what we'll do is we'll go on board with Terry, and hopefully he'll do another lap, and we'll do a quick tour of the Imola circuit and see what it's all about, explain where the braking points are, and go from there accordingly. And if you hear that in the background, my apologies, that's my wife dying. He's had a bit of a cold. Okay, so he's coming on the start-finish straight now. He goes foot down, flat out, drift the car to the right, may straighten up a bit, and then drift the car to the right further. Keep his foot flat out. This is turn one, the kink. And it's hard down, just after the marker on the right, the little cabin. Here, you'll start braking hard. Sweep into bends 2, 3 and 4, which is the Variante Tamburello. The idea is to get the car through here as quick as possible, cutting the apexes and all the curves. The car will stay right here, then after the 50 he'll probably brake and swing the car left into the Variante Villeneuve. This is corners 5 and 6. Again, coming out of here, drift the car left, then push the car to the right. That takes us into Tosa, braking just after the 50, hard down into the lowest gear possible. In these it'll be gear 2. And this is Tosa. There's an ever so slight kink in here, which is corner 8. That'll take us into the left-hander, braking again around the 50 just after. Cut the corner as much into Piratella. That's corner 9. This kink here is corner 10. Flat out to the left-hand side, keep the car left, hit the gears across, cut the corner, and that takes us into 11, 12 and 13, the very popular Aqua Minerale. Foot down, keep to the left-hand side, braking just at the curbing on the left. That takes into the Variante Alta, which is corners 14 and 15, and the chicane. You get wrong, it will bounce the car, and there's also a track limits on the right there as well, so you've got to be very careful. Flat out down here, braking just after the 100 in the GT4s, and there's a little kink here, which is corner 16, braking hard into corner 17 and out corner 18, which is Rivazza. Cut the corner as much as possible within track limits, get your foot down, and that leads us back onto the start finish straight. And that looks like it's going to be, I'm not too sure of his lap time here. He's going for a 153 by the looks of it. Okay, 152.7. So what we expected in relation to qualifying today? Well, you can always see Reese Wiggins has already done a 151.5. I think a 151 is realistic. Who's going to do that? Well, I think there's actually going to be quite a number of drivers. So I think 151s to the 154s is the order of the day today on this track. 151 I think we'll see Reese certainly get. We've seen that already. Merch before was absolutely outstanding. I think Merch could have actually been on for a 150 in pre-qualifying. Alessandro Mediotti will also definitely get into the 151s. Not seen Chris Bourne do a lap yet, so I'm not too sure on where Chris sits on this, but he's going to be up there as usual. Someone else who's been relatively quick actually is Jeremy. Jeremy was in the low 152s before, so I think Jeremy's going to be vying for a very good start position. So you can see we've got two racers now in the 151s, John Saunders. So I think we'll end up with 5 or 6 in the 151s, then a gaggle in the 152s, then 1 or 2 in the 153s, 154s, 155s. Evening, Terry. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. Just give me a notification if you can. I did have a bit of a technical sound issue before, which I believe I've now addressed. Hopefully I'm coming across loud and clear, as are the car engines. Obviously people are still getting themselves ready for the main race. I would expect another couple to join just before the stream starts for the race. We're currently in qualifying. Hi Steve, thanks for that Terry, much appreciate it. So I'm going to jump on board now with Chris Bourne, who's done a 151.9. That's his fastest lap, so I did say he'll get into the 151s, and he's currently 2/10ths up, so he's trying to nudge John Saunders here. John Saunders' last lap is spoilt. Rhys Wiggins is 1/10th up, but it's a relatively, he's just behind Chris Bourne actually. Mediotti, who was flying before, I don't know if he's just getting his car set up, but he's struggling a little bit at the moment. I don't expect him to struggle, don't get me wrong. I think he's going to come out the blocks flying, and I do think he's going to be up there. Merch, as I said, is already in the 152.5s. I think Merch is going to be in the 151s and possibly the 151.3s, 151.4s. I think Paul will be a 151.2, if I'm being honest. So Chris Bourne's 4/10ths up now. He's looking at a 151.5. Oh, he's lost a bit there. Let's see if he can get it back through the chicane, the deadly chicane. It's all about getting the car balanced for the curbs. He's in a Mercedes, so that Mercedes just says, "What curb?" Hi Danny, welcome to the stream. Hi David, thanks for that. Welcome to the stream, my friend. So he's still 4/10ths up. He's going for a 151.5. Oh, he's going for a what? He's going for pole here. Is he going to pull it off? Is he going to go for pole? And there it is, pole. But there's another man on a mission. I mentioned Merch. I reckon Merch could nip it here. I said a 150, a low 151. Let's see what Merch is playing at. And that is a lap time and a half, a 151.0. So we might actually see a 150, but I did say, I'd give an early shout out to Merch there. I said Merch was looking very, very quick. That's the quickest time I've seen in pre-qualifying in the practice, so that's an outstanding time. We're going to have to get someone into the 150s to beat that, and I've seen Merch in the BMW. The drive he's getting out of the corners is absolutely unbelievable. I don't know whether he's got 6 wheels on the back, but the drive's fantastic. He just seems to pull out the corners really well. I'm going to jump back to Rhys. Rhys's best time is a 151.5, as you can see. He's currently 3/10ths up, so he's going for a 151.2 at the moment. He is getting quicker. Oh, he's just spoiled his lap. Track limits there have caught him out, so that lap's dead. Who else can we jump on board with? Chris Bourne is 1/10th up. He's going for a 151.3 here. Oh, he's got it really out of shape there in the chicane. He's lost all his time there. As I said, that chicane can really make or break you. I'm just trying to work out where Mediotti is. Mediotti is currently languishing in 6th. Now I know he will get a 151, so I'm going to jump back to Melvin, the grumpy old man himself. And it does say that on his car, so I'm not just making that up. His car does say grumpy old man, his team, sorry. So Melvin's had some very consistent races recently with a fantastic finish in the GT3 race on Saturday. He just seems to be going from strength to strength in his racing. It's his consistency. I think that's paying him off here really. He's obviously got a comfortable setup with the car. Does what he needs to get the car around, but makes very, very few mistakes. And when I mean few, if he makes a mistake, you do notice it. Hi James, welcome to the stream, my friend. So Melvin's best is a 154.5. He's going for a 153.5 here. That'll only move him up one place, but forward. A 153.6. So he's currently running in 13th place there. So I do think he will get faster. Just jump to the back, Nikos. So Nikos is in the Audi. Again, the Audi does scream a little, but I think the GT4... Whoa, big sideways there. He's got that car very, very loose. Oh, he's put the power down very, very early. I'm just trying to see where his traction control is. Traction control set to 1. So that could be the reason there. Maybe he just needs to dial that back a little bit. Frank Roder, who was doing a really good pre-qualifying, he was looking racy as well. So I think he might get the high 151s here. He's 6/10 up, so he's not going to do it this lap, but this will move him up a couple of slots. And this track is one of these. You can pass on it, but you're looking for a mistake or you're looking for good drive. So pole and first and second on this track is absolutely imperative. So I'm going to go back to Reese. So Reese is now 3/10 up. He's coming up to the final stint of this track. He's going for a 151 to 2 at the moment. Can he get it round the corner? You can hear it sliding. The car's screaming. He's lost a 10th. He's got it back coming out of that corner. He got really good drive then. He put the power down early. So he's going for a 151.2. Is that what he's going to achieve? He could do with a bit of a toe from that car in front of him. What's he going to get? A 151.2. So now we can see we're starting to get the grid starting to look how it's going to be. So we've got Merch currently with a 151.0, Reese with a 151.2, Chris Bourne with a 151.4, and John Saunders with a 151.6. I still think Mediotti is going to get in that, and I also think Andreas is good with a shout. And I was just trying to work out where Jeremy is. Jeremy's he was running a lot quicker than that before, so I don't know if before the tyres must have been different, because he's really struggling at the moment, is Jeremy. Okay, who can we look at? Ricard's looking good. Ricard Weston. Well, he was, commentator's curse. He's actually 2/10 up. He could, if he does get this lap really well, get into the 151s. It won't make him move forward, it just makes him harder to get and catch for the drivers behind. The only other guy who's going relatively quick is Frank Roder, but he's on a 152.6 at the moment, and he's not looking to really move up the leaderboard. Oh, he's gone very deep there. That's a spoilt lap. So that's Ricard's having to reset and do it again. We've got 6 minutes of qualifying, and you can see there Ricard's decided, yeah, I'm going to reset and I'm going to go again. John Saunders is 1/10 up as it stands on a 151.6. Good drive out of there. Not lost any time that I can see. The chicane's critical here. So you can see the traction control John's got on. He's got 5 traction control. So he's really putting, he's really allowing the car to grip. He's now 2/10 up, 3/10 up. So he's going for a 151.3 as it stands. That'll put him 3rd place on the grid. Can he gain any more? Can he get good drive into the final corner and put Reese under pressure? He can indeed. He's now 4/10 up. He's going for a 151.2 here. This is going to be close between him and Reese. Oh, he's just lost a bit there, so I think he's going to be 3rd now. He's definitely going to jump Chris Bourne. And there you go, 151.294. The yellow lights that appear on the dash. I'm trying to work out. So you've got the rev limiter, the green, the yellow, and the red. I presume you're not on about that. I presume the yellow flashing means you better change gear. Yeah, I think when they flash yellow, that means you're ready. You really should be changing gear. Obviously, you can change gear when you want in these cars, but if you go too far, you just start putting the engine on the limiter. Oh, right. I need to see the lights as you're on about. It could be the flags. You could end up with a flag, the dashboard changing to represent the flags. So that's what it could be. And if someone's gone wide, you might get a notification to indicate there's obviously a yellow flag in front of you, and it might go green when it goes green again. It could be that, Terry. We'll have to wait and see, and it might be something we pick on during the race. Oh, we can see the car's just gone spinning around. Yeah, well, there was a green on the computer on the left. Then it come up and said green. So I presume that it's the flags. If that's what we're on about. If you're talking to the left of the dashboard, it's the flags. So you'll see a yellow if it's a yellow and a green. Now you do also get the number. You get the number which is referencing the sector 1, 2, or 3, so you know which sectors it's in. So you'll also see a yellow flag with a number on it. Right, thanks for that, Terry. Cheers. There's no one going much quicker now. We're only talking guys at the back. Nikos is really struggling, so just jump off with Nikos. He can't get the power down in that car. He's losing time for fun. Right, I'm going to jump forward because I think we might see our first sub 150. And it's who I said might get it? Merch. Got that corner spot on. He's 3/10 up. He's going for a 150.7. Just put that into perspective. That'll make him half a second faster than the nearest closest driver. Oh, he's gone wide. He's spoilt his lap. What a shame. He was absolutely flying, was Merch then. He was 4/10 up. And he just went a little bit. He's 6/10 up here. He just went a little bit wide at Aqua Minerale. Oh, what an absolute killer. Wow. So yeah, he's going to go again, isn't he? You can see he's just waiting, biding his time to go again. So I think Merch is going through him. He's got 2 laps left in Merch. Looking at them times. Okay, so let's see how he does. We'll sit on with Merch. There's no one else flying around at the moment, so Mediotti's really struggling. He made a 150.15, but I thought he was going to be in the 150.12s. So Merch has gained 1/10 straight away. He's lost it there with a bit of slipping and sliding. And there's Mediotti off again. And Mediotti's really struggling. So we've got double wave yellows. That was Mediotti going off. Oh, that's Merch. He's gone wide again. He's got another run if he can get round here. Just to keep himself in there. Who else is going quick? John Saunders is 1/10 up. He's in on a relatively new lap. I'm keeping an eye on John Saunders and Mediotti. Mediotti, I think, is going to go for another lap. Actually, it might not have been Mediotti that before because Mediotti's 2/10 up. He's going for a 150.13 as it stands. Saunders has lost his 1/10. That's it. It's over for Merch. That you're going to see Merch now either try and go for another lap if he's got the fuel. I think he should easily make it over actually. I think Merch will get one more lap in. He's got his timing right. Mediotti's 1/10 up, so Mediotti's going for a 150.14, which won't move him up the leaderboard, and he's now lost that time. So the start grid is looking completely different to we normally see it. I do think Imola's a track that it's a love-hate. You either love it or you hate it. You know, I was speaking to, he's going very deep there, Ollie before, Ollie Nortner. And he said he just can't stand this track, you know, and I think that's the case with this track. You either do like it or you don't. I don't really have tracks I like and dislike. There's ones I prefer more than others. I don't have a problem with this track. Yes, it's hard work, but I prefer this more to Silverstone. I just don't gel with Silverstone. But I like the layout. You know, I like it's a fast track. So let's see if he's going to do 40 seconds here. So he's got that 1/10 up again. Can he get the drive out this time? He's got much better drive, but he has lost it again. Mediotti's going for another lap. Mediotti's flying. So I'm going to keep an eye on these two. Mediotti has the chance here to go second. I don't think he's going to take pole. And there's Merch's over. Chris Bourne has just got his lap in. Oh, and he's losing his time. He was looking good. Yeah, Steve, it's one of them, isn't it? It is you either like it or you lump it, really. So Mediotti's really the only one who can gain at the moment. He's 1/10 up. Oh, he got a good corner there. He's 3/10 up. He's going for a 150.2 now. This is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. Is he going to split or beat Reese? No, he's lost a couple. He's lost a 10th there. He's got a good run through there though. 4/10 up. So he's now going for second. He's not going to get pole. Now he's lost a tenth. So I think he's going to be low 150, 1.2s here. He needs a really good drive, or he's lost time braking, or he broke he lost a lot of time braking there. Yeah, he's not going to gain. Yeah, he's not going to gain. And I think that's where we're going to be from a grid position. Yeah, Terry, the chicane actually, I was in the Aston yesterday, it handles the chicane really well. So I think, I'm not too sure about the Porsche. The Porsche doesn't seem to do well around here from where I can recall. So I think the Porsche might struggle from yourself. And I'm not sure what you're driving, Steve. You used to have the Ferrari last season. The Ferrari struggles in the chicane. I was pulling away 4/10 in the chicane alone yesterday. Right, so back in a second, guys. Okay, bit of a grid walk. So, as I said before, on pole we have Mirch Paunov in the BMW. We then have Rhys Wiggin in the Camaro, followed by John Saunders in the Aston and Chris Bourne in the Mercedes. We then have Derek Bird and Alessandro Mediotti. Mediotti in the green, Derek Bird in the usual black and gold Porsches. We then have Rickard Weston in the Camaro, and we have Andreas in the Mercedes. We then have Frank Roder in a Porsche, and we have Jeremy in the BMW. Terry Trowbridge in the McLaren, and Melvin Garland in the Aston. PJ Vitala in the Porsche. Richard Columb in the BMW. We got Souza in the Aston Martin, and we got Eric Langlois in the Porsche. And up the rear we've got Nikos Margaritos in the Audi and Kevin Torrance in the other Camaro. So that's the grid walk as it is. And what we'll do now is we'll go ready for the race itself. And I says I'm trying to get back me mouse. There we go. I'll go to the helicam. I'll jump on with Chris Bourne, who's towards, in fact I'll jump to John Saunders. We've got 40 seconds. Quickly to the chat. So I'm going to put us onto the what's going to be the gap. Okay, so a couple of things. Steve Owls, yeah, the chicane is a killer. I think you said, Terry. Steve, you said you still got the Ferrari. The Ferrari's great through the likes of Acqua Minerale, but the chicane just kills it. I saw that yesterday when I was racing. The Aston just flies through the chicane, and the Ferrari really struggles. I think Goddard actually went off in the Ferrari and spun out because of the chicane. Hi Maverick, welcome to the stream. David Blythe, you obviously can see much more data than us. Is that part of it? It is indeed, David. So I can see a lot of information. I will at some point in the race. I'll go through it all with you. I think I've done it a few times, but you get to see how I can see a lot of data more so than yourselves, like the splits and that. So it becomes really handy to talk about. Yeah, Danny's just saying for himself, Acqua Minerale kills it. You can hack the chicane, but Acqua is the challenge with the Porsche. Yeah. The Porsche wants to drift left all the time or over-rotate. Hi Dimitri. And hi Paul. Welcome to the stream, my friends. So, ready to go? I'll try and do my best job and keep everything intact. And keep my finger on the action. I've got no commentary pilots with me today. I'm running solo. Okay, so we'll be ready to go shortly. It's quite a long straight, this one, so therefore the cars are running for a long time. Then all of a sudden you just get the speed limiter and off you go. It really catches you out, actually. Here we go. Oh no, that's not the one. It's the one coming up. See what I mean? It's got 2 start lines just to confuse matters as well, so the lights are still on red. I think it's the next start line that comes up.
Green light, go.
No, not a start light. And it's lights out and away we go. Merch has made a fantastic start there. Mediotti's going for the inside, up against Saunders. Oh, there's been contact. Mediotti trying to be very aggressive there. So far, so good. Looks like everyone's made it through. Oh, a bit of nudging there with Ricard Weston and Derek. But so far, Melvin's lost a place, and Kevin's managed to pass. It looks like Nikos and the other BMW. There's been another bit of contact further up forward, but they all just look like little love taps at the moment. So no one's race has been spoiled. So Richard did pass Melvin, but Melvin's managed to pass Richard now. In fact, the guy on the move, Kevin looks like he's really up for it. He's going around the outside here of Tosa against Derek. That's a ballsy move. Now he's realised he's going to have to back out. Ricard's made a pass against John Saunders. Brilliant pass. So he must have got a really good drive out the corner, and he's allowed him to go up the inside. Hi Andy, your ears must have been burning. I've just been speaking about you. So I'm just going to jump forward a couple of cars because Reese is putting a lot of pressure on Merch. Merch is usually the one putting pressure on you guys, and this time he's getting put pressure on. So just an observation there. These guys are going wide at that corner. That's one of the few corners on this track where you do get, I mean, you certainly get a track limit warning, track limits, but you can easily get a warning. If you go into there and keep your foot planted, you will get a warning. And as you know, 3 warnings, your 4th warning, it's a drive-through. There's a few other corners where you can get it. Aqua Minerale, if you go wide there and keep your foot planted, you'll get a warning. So, you know, it's not unforeseeable that by the end of this race, we do have a drive-through. So you can see the Merch is got himself going with a really good starting position. He's put a bit of daylight now between him and Reese, and you can see further back the guys are still battling for the remaining positions to see if they can gain anything on the straight. You can't make much on the straight. You know, you're not really going to pass. The straight is a good passing manoeuvre, as Jaime found out yesterday. No, what I was saying before, Andy, the chicane killed you in the Ferrari yesterday. It spat you out the other side. You know, about, I think it was lap 7, you come through the chicane and over-rotated, and it spat you out. It's just a nightmare, that chicane, and the Ferrari is one of the few cars that doesn't like it. I was, you know, bad I hope. No, I'd never speak bad about you. But I will say that pass I made on you on the outside on the corner 1 was absolutely perfect. That I did enjoy. Okay, so it's starting to settle down already, and the number of battles is really limited. I don't know why that is, but everyone seems to have made good gaps already, so everyone's running in a bit of a train. There seems to be 3 distinct sections on this track at the moment of gaps. So PJ, the head of this one, is leading one group of cars, and Eric Langlois at the back is also leading a separate group of cars, but everyone else is within half a second, just over half a second. Ricard Weston's losing a bit of time to Chris Bourne as well. You can see the Columbe's gone a bit wide. So just jumping forward a little bit, I'm going to go to John Saunders, because John Saunders is putting a lot of pressure on Ricard Weston now. Try and oh, he's gone on the sand. He nearly had a tag slapper there, and that's allowed Mr. Bird to also progress further. So Merch has done a 1:51.4 in race trim on his 2nd lap. Wow, Merch is flying. Well, he's 1.8 seconds clear of Reese now. So he just needs to get his head down and keep it consistent. So I'm going to jump back a little bit, and we have three cars battling here now. So we've got Andreas, John Saunders, and Derek Bird. That off from John has really upset him a little bit by the looks of it. He looks like he's going to have to reset and go again because he's losing quite a bit of time in that little bit. Now maybe his right tyres were still a bit dirty. I mean, I don't expect John to stay there. John's a good driver, and he will certainly make some time up. Richard and Melvin are having a battle at the back. So Melvin got the inside corner. Melvin's just maintained position there, so he hadn't passed Richard. Richard had gone into the corner wide, and that had registered as him being passed, but he actually hadn't. The fact that Melvin had the inside line always meant Melvin was going to keep the corner. But you can see the angles are taken are very, very similar, almost following each other. I mean, Richard's following Melvin there, even to the degree of how much track they're taking up. Well, he's made a good run through there. He's got a cracking drive out the chicane as Richard. Melvin's just pushing the car left slightly because he's got track position, and that's where you want to be on this car. This is the chicane, sorry, that was the Aqua Minerale, my apologies. That's Richard gone wide there. Back to the front a little bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to sit on board with John, because John is putting pressure on Derek again. So John was doing well and he's made a bit of a mistake. Merch has now done a 151.0 in race trim. That is a joke. So he's running quicker than most cars with a full tank of fuel. A bit of a note. Who's chatting? Cup car has at least 2 places to spit you out. Chicane down and into the double right. And Stefan saying the Coach Day Ferrari setup takes the chicane. Hi Stefan. You snuck in there. I didn't see you sneak in there. So I'll make sure I always say hello to everybody if I can see the names pop up. So Derek's on a mission here to pass Ricard. So toast is always a good way of getting a good run up the up here. Get a good run, you can go up the inside, but the natural angle here is the cars will drift left and then push to the right. And I say just after the 50 we'll put the brakes on, cut the corner as much as possible, get the power down and drift right again. So John Saunders, you can see there, took a much more aggressive line. He really took some of that curbing away there. That other corner just past there, that's also a warning corner. You can get track limits for that. Chris Bourne, I'm going to jump forward, is keeping up with Mediotti here. So Mediotti's he's not running away with it like he normally does. And for, you know, fair dues to all the other guys, Merch and Reese, they're really hanging him out to dry up front. You see Merch is now a dot in the distance, and Reese in the Camaro is doing a fantastic job, although he's just hit a bit of sand there. I think he went very wide in that corner. Now we're going to see a bit of a drive here in the Mercedes trying to catch the Porsche. Derek has passed Ricard. Ricard must have made a mistake there. There's no contact because you can see John and Andreas are ganging up on him now. Now Andreas is going to get the toe off Ricard. It could put Andreas in a good position, but it's a bit late to dive that. So Derek's gone defensive. He wants no one going up the inside, and they'll all go to the right now, knowing full well you can't pass. Although Saunders, Ricard are all thinking about it. Derek's hit the curbs hard there. He may have lost a bit of time, and this could give Ricard and certainly John a bit of run. John's looking really tasty now. He's got his bit between his teeth. Again, there's no passing there because the car wasn't actually drift left, but you could get a good drive out of this corner. Ricard's back looking very loose there, and as that, John's now realised and can go up the inside. Oh, Ricard is not giving him space. Contact there. Interesting, that one. There's been a bit of a battle behind as well there, and also behind them. So there was also a couple of cars battling there. Terry is going up the inside of Frank, and Jeremy's joining the party. So Frank's got a good drive out, but that's not really a pass inside because Terry has got the line. So unless Terry breaks early, Terry will keep the line here, and he just needs to be sure he doesn't push Frank wide. So they've all come through Aqua Minerale really well, but Jeremy's now starting to show some pace as well. Hi Robert, welcome to the stream. Ricard there made a big mistake, got the chicane completely wrong and ended up going wide, and that's allowed Andreas now to pass Ricard. So in the sake of one lap there, Ricard has lost a couple of places. Now it's showing Jeremy is going slow, but he's not, so maybe he's just eased off the gas. Interesting. I'm going to go back to Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne is really going for it now in Mediotti. Can he get a run? Oh, he's running out of track. He was looking at it aggressively, but he realised he's not going to get the braking done there. He's sliding that car around the corner, and Mediotti's looking in his rear view mirrors. So let's look at the view from Mediotti. All you can see is that big black and pink Mercedes and the big badge, the start 3-star badge, looking at him in the rear view mirror. A daunting sight. We see Mediotti, good driver, great driver. Will he bow to pressure? Unlikely. We saw also Krista, I think the other day, defend Mediotti. You know, so and that was after Mediotti had gone off quite early on. So you know, fair dues to Mediotti, carried on. Very quick driver indeed. Right, so I'm going to jump to Saunders. Saunders has caught back up with Derek. Derek has made some good places up here as well. I think he was 6th or 7th on the grid. But it is fair to say Derek has made the place up as a result of cars falling off. John Saunders was one of them, quite early on at the start. And we've seen Andreas and Ricard fall off as well, who were, I think, both in front of Derek at one point. Porsche's riding them curves really well, but you can see the Aston just doesn't give a monkeys about them. I mean, I know this is a GT4 car, but it's set up in that will be probably very similar from the undercarriage. Cut the corner here, get them to drive out, foot down. You can hear that Porsche wet engine really whining. He's got a good run here, but as I said, this is really difficult straight to get the pace up in the GT4s. They don't have the same slipstream as the GT3s, so you'll start gaining, but you won't have enough run. So you can see he's starting to gain now, but he hasn't got that whoosh to pass. So I'm going to change the nation flag to the position delta, so you can just see who's gaining and who's losing. So Derek has only made one place up actually. Mediotti's made 2. Derek Bird's lost 3. There's been contact towards the back. Garland and Columbe have come together. It doesn't look like it was a problem between the pair of them. It looks like it was more like a love tap as opposed to a coming together and one of the drivers going off. The battles have started to ease off a little bit now. There's only one battle in the red, and that's Chris Bourne and Mediotti, who obviously we've already seen are running close together anyway. Quick refreshment while I keep talking, otherwise it won't be very good with a silent voice. Right, there's been a change. Chris got a good run out of the Aquaminale, and it's allowed him to. In fact, what we'll do is we'll have a look at how that happened, shall we? Just out of curiosity, just to see how Chris did it. So coming through here, no problem. Still no problem. Oh, he's gone too deep there. And he's got on the grass, so he's lost all traction. So Mediotti's made a mistake, and that will gift the position to Mr. Bourne. And I can't see Mediotti getting that past Bourne again now. Merch Paunov's just done a 1:51.0 in race trim. That's the same lap time he had in qualifying. Absolutely fantastic. So Merch is really going for it. The battle between Melvin and Richard Columbe at the back is still going on. I'll keep an eye on that. It does look like Melvin's holding off Richard though. See, Mediotti just seems to be struggling 1 or 2 corners there. His car's drifting quite wide in some of the corners. So we'll have a quick run down of the grid while it just seems to have stabilised a little bit. So in front position at the moment, doing a fantastic job. He's 3.8 seconds clear of Rhys Wiggins, his Merch Paunov. Absolutely fantastic. Rhys Wiggins is 2.3 seconds ahead of Chris Bourne. But I do think we're going to see Chris Bourne come back a little bit now. Now he's managed to pass Mediotti. Chris Bourne in 3rd place is 8 tenths in front of Mediotti. Be interested if Mediotti can get him back, but it was a mistake Mediotti made there to give the position to Chris. Mediotti is 10 seconds clear of the next racer, which is Derek Bird. Derek Bird is 1 second clear of John Saunders, so this could become a battle very, very soon. And John Saunders is 1.8 seconds clear of Andreas, as you can see coming round in the Mercedes there. Andreas is 2 seconds clear of Rickard Weston. Rickard in the Camaro is doing really well. Made a couple of mistakes and lost a few places. He's 1.8 seconds clear of Terry. Terry's jumping the curbs there through the chicane. I think Terry might start closing that gap up actually. Terry is 3 seconds clear of Frank Roder. So Frank Roder's qualifying was really good. And I think he's just starting to lose traction a little bit now. Frank is being pressured by Jeremy. So, you know, Jeremy's not a risk taker. I'm just going to jump forward. Mediotti's going for it on Chris Bourne. He's got a good drive. This is going to take balls of steel to go around the outside here. Oh, this is close. Fantastic driving. Chris has still got the line here now. Mediotti couldn't get the power as a result of that corner. Is he going to get enough run? Because Chris could go very defensive here. No, Chris has managed to hold him off. But Chris knows now. Oh, he doesn't want to go on the sand. Mediotti could make the pass again. Now he's on the outside. Very difficult here. He's going for the inside. Has he got the drive? That Porsche is looking racy. Really racy. He's got the inside line here. Mediotti might be taking it back. Oh, contact, contact. That's put Mediotti onto the grass. Ooh, and that's put Chris Bourne wide as well. Interesting what's going on there. There's contact at the back as well. Richards managed to pass Melvin. I'll carry on jumping down. PJ Vitala. In fact, Jeremy has passed Frank Roder now as well. I missed that out. PJ Vitala is 12 seconds clear of Richard. And Richard has managed to get past Melvin. And Melvin's 1 second behind. But I think this battle is not done. I think this battle is going to be the gift that keeps on giving. Because Melvin's racy. Melvin will pass Richard. I think Richard will make a mistake. And that'll give it back to Melvin. Sounds unfair to say that, but I do believe that's what will probably happen. We'll see that. Melvin is 2.3 seconds ahead of Sousa. Sousa's 0.8 ahead of Eric in the red, white and blue Porsche. And Eric is in front of Kevan. And Kevan is 5.3 seconds ahead of Nikos. And Nikos is really struggling this race. He just can't find the balance. His quickest lap times are 1:55. You know, we were looking at the fastest drives doing with 51. I think we're going to see Merch catching this guy very, very quickly at some point. And you can see he's only got a third of the track to go and he will be catching the back markers. So that'll add another twist to this. Whew, take a deep breath. So, David, you were asking about, I've obviously got a lot of information. I'll just show you what I'm using while there's no battles at the moment. So on the screen you can see ACC TV. Okay, so that's what I currently use, and that's what I can currently see in relation to, obviously, the... I just need to get my mouse back. I've lost my mouse for some reason. Right, I've got my mouse back. So this is ACC TV, and I'll just move the window down a little bit. Not that one, sorry. I just move the ACC TV down window a little bit, just so you can see it all under the sponsor. And what you've got on the left hand side is the cars, the drivers, and then you can see the current lap time and you can see the delta. If it's in red it means they're behind, if it's in green it means they're ahead, if it's grey it means it's a spoilt lap, and you can see the last and the best. I've then got a load of controls for the cameras, as you can see there, the heli, the TV 1, TV 2, and then you can see I've got another gap of cameras. You'll see on the right hand side the incidents, so that's why I can tell whether there's been an incident and who they're between, so you can see I can highlight them. If I then click onto the leaderboard, I can see all the splits, so you can see sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, the potential lap time of the driver and who's got what times, you know, so there's quite a lot. I've got a full track map going on. I've also got speed traps, so I can see where the speed traps are. I can select the speed trap of where, you know, turn 1, and it'll give me the speed in turn 1 when it's recorded it. So you can see the relevant speeds, they'll get recorded as I go through. So there's quite a lot of information available to me in relation to managing this, you know, so from that perspective there's a lot I can do, there's a lot I can control. And I've lost my mouse again, typical. There we go, that's back again. So I'll just switch ACT back off so you can see. I'll go back to broadcasting. So I'm going to jump to John Saunders. John Saunders is putting pressure on Derek. You can see Derek's going defensive there now. So hopefully you found that interesting. So Robert, the the maximum number of cars, I think, is considerable. ACC supports. The issue becomes the tracks, because I think the tracks have got a maximum grid of, I think it's 41 or 45, so that limits it. Some tracks I think do cater for more, but I think from a championship you always run the same number of cars. But I think it'll happily chunk along with 40, 45. I think we had a race once in the closed season and we filled the server. Some people couldn't actually get in, and we just made it that many people. I think it was 41 that day. So it can be controlled through the server as well. So on the server you can say maximum number of cars, but I think the game will support more than that. It's gone quite dull now. No one's making any inroads. John Saunders and Jeremy are the only two really on a mission. Jeremy's closing up on Terry ever so slowly. So I don't know if Jeremy's going to start putting pressure on Terry, but that'll be a good battle. You're welcome, David. Did you read that document I compiled? Because that'll kind of show you how you can do something similar with the QNOS built-in software. And the QNOS built-in software does give you all this to a lesser degree. Yeah, Robert, you're right. All the races have been sparse, and that'll put me onto another topic actually. You may have seen me post today in the announcements thread. I don't know if you have or not. You know, we said early on in the season, after 4 races, we were going to close the championships, but we've started to realise that the number of entries in each race is starting to dwindle a little bit. You know, you made the comment yourself there, and we've gone from 30, 28 drivers in some respects down to 14, 15, 16 drivers. So what we've decided is we're going to let new people race, but they won't get points, and the finish position doesn't equate to anything. And consequently, what it means is we can keep the grids as full as possible. You know, there was calls for us to get a second server. There was obviously costs associated to that, but we're not filling what we've got, so it makes no sense whatsoever to acquire additional servers. So, you know, that's why the announcements were made, really. But we are putting a caveat on that. Any new drivers can't race in the championship until they've raced on a Monday night, and we're on a Monday in the warm-up, and we've seen what times they're doing, at which point they'll be allocated a league. So, you know, we're not just going to let people jump in from their times and their say-so. We're going to make that decision for them, and they're not going to influence it, so they'll be under racing conditions. I mean, that's an idea. The problem you've got with that, Robert, is where'd you split the line? You know, because the problem is with Group 1, Group 2 and Group 3, you'll see different drivers excel in different tracks. But within the groups are balanced. You start mixing Group 1 and Group 2 up and Group 2 and Group 3 up, I think you'll find that balance gets upset a little bit, probably too much actually. And therefore, a lot of people who are racing in them groups at the moment who are finding the groups fun may not start enjoying them as much. I don't know, I mean, it's one of them. Do we suck it and see? Going to 2 groups means we get an extra night off, if that's what people want, you know. Or it means we can then do some alternative racing. Nikos has just gone off. Those yellow flags showing for Nikos then. So Nikos is having a race to forget. In fact, Nikos has been pitted already. He spent 50 seconds in the pit. So I don't know whether he drove through there or he's had a drive-through. He could have had a drive-through actually, Nikos. I've not seen anything come up. There's no drive-through showing, so I don't think he's had a drive-through. Saunders there was very wide, very wide. That will be a warning. I do prefer more cars on track. I think it's more fun. But the starts become harder because you end up with cars colliding with each other on the, on the first corners and stuff. So that's the downside with, the number of cars really. So there, see what's going on. Right, so I think Robert should drive by himself, safer, he thinks. Come on, Stefan. I think it's fair to say, I know Robert's got a great sense of humour. I think, you know, Robert, these last few races, I certainly have seen improvement. I remember being behind him in Imola, and I couldn't pass him. His lines are perfect, his speed was good. And, you know, I say this week in, week out, I do get to see all the races probably differently than what people see in the replays and stuff. And you do pick up traits, you do pick up who's quick, who's massively improved. And I think it's fair to say some of Robert's qualifying times have been fantastic, and when he's in front he's difficult to pass. Robert's biggest mistake is himself, and hopefully he will admit that. You know, he gets a bit too eager sometimes. Nikos has left the server, he's give up. I think we'll see Nikos in a minute. So he's going to join the chat because he's just had an absolute nightmare. You know, we're told not to quit the server because it could cause a lag. So maybe he should have just pitted it and left it. But we'll see. Yeah, Robert, I remember that. That was the one I was on about, where the first race we had, and there was basically we couldn't get more people in. The grid was full. Right, I'm just going to go to the back because Susan's putting pressure on Langlois now. Well, I used to race on the GT4, David, but I used to race in the Porsche Cup. But the problem is I struggle racing 2 days on the run because it hurts my right hand. So for me, it's a case of, well, if I race Monday or Tuesday, it's the path of least resistance. I raced yesterday in the Constructors and helped the Team PWS out. My hand was pretty painful at the end of it, so I could race again today, but it'll just compound the problem. And to be honest, you know, I do enjoy racing the GT4s, but equally I enjoy doing this as well. So to me, it's a balance. I have no problems. Eric's just spun, as you can see there, and that's allowed Manuel Sousa to pass him. So John Saunders is still putting pressure on Derek. So from my perspective, I'm quite happy to race, you know, just on a Saturday. So, you know, I can put all my effort into practice for Saturday and just have that one race on Saturday. And I know I'll have done the best I can then, rather than trying to battle. Sometimes I'll do the warm-up race, you know, I don't always not. I just sometimes do it. But GT4 and the Porsche, I'm done with them. I think it's Stefan says the Porsche is evil. I agree. Thanks for that, Robert. I said I didn't want to be critical, but I think you're your own failure there. If you could get rid of them unforced errors, I think you'd be a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, Andy, I know where you're coming from on that. I love the GT4s. I really do. I think they're really easy to drive. They're quite a fun car. They're almost quite a quirky car actually, because the lack of, you know, downforce on them. But I've got to make that judgment call. What's best for me, you know. And from my perspective, possibly doing the Monday night race, the warm up, and the Saturday race works well for me, because we don't stream the Monday night race normally anyway. So there's no loss there as far as the team's concerned. Stefan. Yeah, I know you hate it, Stefan, but you know, damaging yourself's a bit extreme. No, Robert, you're misunderstanding there. The Porsche is not evil. It's the Porsche Cup without traction control. Obviously, 911 turbo, using it for driving. Fantastic car. That's just got jealousy written all over it. That we're not getting much out of this battle with Saunders, are we? And the rest of the tracks calmed down. I will say though, Terry's pulled away from Jeremy and is now putting pressure on Ricard. So let's see where this takes us. If we can't, Paul Moore, if we counted the evening practice, Robert would be a killer. Yeah. Yeah, Steve, you see, that's exactly what I did. I didn't do the Porsche Cup this season at all. I think I might have done one race, and I just thought, forget that for a game of soldiers. I just find it really difficult and a frustrating car as well. Make one mistake and God does it penalise you. Hi Luke, welcome to the stream, my friend. Not much to be honest. Merch has made an outstanding start. His fastest lap is 7 tenths quicker than anybody else. He qualified on pole. Mediotti and Chris Bourne have had a bit of a battle, but they've now separated. We've had one quitter, which was Nikos. Difference between a porcupine and a Porsche. I don't know, they both can sting you, can't they? In different ways. Danny's asking where's the next race. So the next race is Donington, I believe. So the GT4 will be at Donington next, obviously next Wednesday. Yeah, Robert just needs to tame his Irishman. Top of the morning to you. Poor excuse for an accent, I know. Didn't mean to offend any Irish people there. I work in Southern Ireland and Northern Ireland, so I've got many friends over there. Yeah, Waterford is where I tend to work in Southern Ireland. So I've spent a lot of time in Waterford. Yeah, it was bad, Luke. Accents isn't my strong thing. I struggle saying people's names, let alone accents. Accents is nothing down for me. Some will argue my English isn't good either. That's me mixed accent, shall we say. Where I'm from in the UK, it's like a border of different places, so my accent's like a hybrid, and it can change based on company, believe it or not. So if I'm with my family, who are predominantly Liverpudlian or Scouse, if you want to use a term, my accent can go very, very Scouse. If I'm with my wife's family, who are very Mancunian, my accent can go very, very Mancunian, and I don't know I'm doing it, it just goes like that. So some people will say I'm from Manchester, some people will say I'm from Liverpool, and I'm actually from bang in the middle. Oh dear, that's not very nice, Andy. Then again, I will say then, you must have a Porsche then, Andy. Boom. Oh dear, dear, dear. Right, so John Saunders again is putting pressure on Derek Bird. There's just not many battles going on at all. This GT4 race is starting to become very, very lax now. Yeah, Paul, I agree with you. You've got to get the balance right, Paul. Robert, we must be talking to the wife. Andy Goddard, I wish. Oh, right, let's see where we're up to. Let's do a quick rundown of the grid. We've got 17 minutes to go. This is the only battle, as I've said. Murch is 7 seconds clear. Murch has had a fantastic race. I mean, we'll do driver of the day. To me, it's a no-brainer, if I'm being honest. That is a no-brainer. He qualified in pole. I don't know what he's got in that car, or it's almost like he's running a GT3, the way he's running away with this race. But my money is it's going to be Murch Pownov, but, you know, that's just me. Rhys Wiggins has had a very quiet second place as well, and he's 7 seconds ahead of Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne's had an interesting race. He's had to pass Alessandro Mediotti, sorry. Mediotti did make a mistake, and then they nearly got it back again. They made contact with each other, and Mediotti ended up going on the grass. But basically, we've just got to see where that pans out, whether we get any complaints coming in. They were going up side by side, so that's going to be very, very difficult. And they're on a part of the track where the camber changed as well, so the camber will naturally move the car up from one side to the other. Robert, he's got the 328 coupe with a sport package. Is that what he's driving? Oh, so Alessandro Mediotti is 5 seconds ahead of Derek. Yeah, he's settled down in that position now. I think he's going for the points. You know, I don't think he's going to catch Chris. Derek Bird is enjoying a good battle with John Saunders. But it does look like he's got the better of Saunders here. Now, what will be interesting, we're getting to the point now when the tyres start to go off. Now, in the Aston yesterday, my tyres went off at the 20 minutes mark with 5 minutes of struggling. Then they come back to me. Now, I wonder if that sort of trait is going to show itself up here. Andreas Patterson, very quiet race. He's 8 seconds behind John Saunders, 3 seconds ahead of Ricard. Ricard is being pressured by Terry. So Terry's still not got past Ricard, and he doesn't seem to be making any headway on Ricard at all there. He will be looking for Ricard to make a mistake. And then behind that we've got Jeremy, who's had a quiet race. He did gain a position before from Frank Roder, but really there's been no other, battling going on from a Jeremy perspective. Frank's 4 seconds behind Jeremy, and he's 15 seconds clear of PJ. So Frank's position as it stands is looking pretty solid where he is for 11th position. PJ again is also 9 seconds clear of the car behind him, which is Richard Columb, and I think he's looking steady in that position. Richard is 2.8 seconds ahead of Melvin, so when he got in front of Melvin, he really did manage to put the power down. Now, interesting is the BMWs do seem to be quite good on here, so maybe it's just a car thing. But again, the tyres could still come into play. Let's not rule out the tyres. We could start seeing cars start to lose time or make mistakes because of the tyres, and that could change it all. So Melvin's keeping up with him, but he is 2 seconds behind, 2.8 seconds behind. Sousa's 19 seconds behind, and he's having a private battle with Kevan. One of our New Zealand contingents. And there's Kevin in the white Camaro, and then at the back of the grid is Eric Langlois. He spun out before, and that pushed him back. He's only lost 1 place actually. So the biggest gainer, biggest gainer at the moment is Terry Trowbridge. So Terry has passed. Ricard has made a mistake. In fact, Ricard's pitted. Now, Ricard's pitted. What's he pitted for? Because the car doesn't look damaged. Has he got the wrong fueling? Oh, has he got a drive-through? Ricard, I think's got a drive-through, has he? Interesting. Now, that means there's track limits coming into play. Yes, he's got a drive-through. Yeah. So I did say there was a possibility of a drive-through. Spot on there. Hi, Billy. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Oh, hi, Wi-Fi thief. A.K.A. Nikos. Race has been okay. Merch has dominated. I agree, Stefan. We've got to be fair at the end of the day. As a group, we've got to be fair, and we've got to seem to be fair. And what we can't have is 1 or 2, individuals who think it's unfair on them when it isn't. And it's a difficult position to be in. I'm part of the administration team, as Jeremy is really, and a lot gets put upon us. I want to be friends with everybody at the end of the day. I'm an easygoing person, as does Jeremy. But sometimes our actions aren't seen as the right actions, but the actions are always what we believe are right for the group. But saying that, Melvin messaged me before. No, Melvin will always watch the stream back. And he made a comment and a suggestion to me. And fair dues to the bloke, it was a spot on comment, and I've took that forward, and we've agreed with that comment now. So you'll be made aware of that. So Jeremy's going for the inside with Terry now. Is he going to do it? Is he going to outbrake him? Oh, it's going to be close. Very close. Terry's giving space. Fair dues to Terry there, but it's going to put Jeremy on the outside, but he's going to get the inside line. Oh, Jeremy back end. Terry's gone wide. Wow, interesting how that's going to pan out. So yes, Stefan, it's I don't like falling out with people. If people decide to leave, we don't force anybody to leave. We just ask them to be reasonable. If they decide to throw the toys out the pram, that's their lookout. I've heard many of people say they've been in other groups and they're not ran as well as us. I've yet to come across somebody who says another group's ran better than us. And if that's the case, we need to know what we're doing wrong. But at the end of the day, we think we're in a good place at the moment within the group. All you guys are a fantastic bunch. I'd never want any of you to leave as a result of something we've done wrong, and that's why we always want people to speak to us. Hi BGIS. Yes, there is a league for Inkley people, you're right. Our oldest driver is the guy in front in the purple car, if I'm not mistaken. Terry Trowbridge, who's 78. We're all over 50, so that's one of the things you've got to be to race in our league. We do say we're gentlemen, but even gentlemen can have spats, and it does happen. But we do have stewards. So, oh dear, Jeremy had the chance to pass him there and followed him off onto the beach. I'm going to go forward a little bit. John Saunders is putting pressure on Derek here. eSeniors is the best. Yeah, 200. You know what, Stefan? That's absolutely spot on. 200 different personalities. Maverick, just let me know what your name is. So I know you from your name rather than from your code on obviously YouTube chat. I'm pretty good with all the names for obvious reasons. I administer all the members and stuff, so I get familiar with them all. Thanks, Robert. Really appreciate that. You know, sometimes, guys, them little comments make a massive difference to our opinions. You know, I had a bit of a to-do, as you're all aware, a couple of months ago, and I just took time out for a few days. Best thing I ever did. But that's your opinion, Maverick. You know, we have. So for your benefit, Maverick, we have a GT4 class, which is this. We have a Porsche Cup class, which if you're not confident driving, stay away from the Porsche. We then have 3 groups. In fact, Rickard's past Melvin now, so Rickard's coming back out the pits and is gaining time. I'm just going back to John Saunders a little bit. In fact, no, I'm going to stick with Jeremy. Jeremy's putting pressure on Terry. We have 3 GT3 groups. So the group 1 are the aliens. They're the quick times, and I mean they're the quick times. Group 2 are the guys. They're quick, but obviously they're not as quick as the aliens. And group 3, they're the guys who are either new to the group or improving, I think it's fair to say. Some of the group 3 guys will make it in group 2, and that's what we do, is we adjust the leagues every season to try and equalise it a little bit. But it's all a learning curve. You know, at the end of the day, as long as you respect the rules of the eSeniors, don't deliberately crash people off the track and you know, go for gaps that aren't there, and respect the track and respect the drivers, it's quite easy to race with us. I will say, you will see from here, no one's going for that punt down the inside. You know, I was hoping I wasn't going to get commentators cursed then. In corners, we're given respect, you know, and that's just straightforward driving. So Danny's just saying he's in 2 other groups and this is one of the better ones. Love the fact that the level of respect stands out. That's something you don't see in the younger run groups. Thanks for that, Danny. Again, that's really positive feedback. Thank you. Thanks for that, Billy. Really appreciate it. You know what, Stefan? I think it's fair to say, I think me and you, I'm not going to say it was a confrontation, but I think there was almost a bit of a disagreement, and we're both bigger than that. I think we're on the other side of it, well and truly on the other side of it. I don't hold grudges. You come across a person who don't hold grudges either, and yeah, I think we're in a fantastic place as a group. We've got to take the good with the bad, you know. Sorry, the bad with the good. The group is predominantly good. You always get 1 or 2 incidents with 1 or 2 drivers, which we do try to, you know, home in on. And we are learning all the time. You will notice that, you know, from season 1 to where we are today, the rules are different. We have a code of conduct. We stream all the races now. We have commentary on the races. You know, we are light years from where we were, but we're still light years from where we want to be. You know, we've managed to get our sponsors, PWS, preciouswashers.co.uk. If you live in the UK, they will give you a discount if you're an eSeniors member. And we'll be getting some sort of overlay from them that I can obviously show at some point, but I'm working with them at the moment, and then obviously they're paying for the subscription for the ACC TV software. Jeremy's going up the inside here. Is he going to make it stick this time? They got very close before. It's all about braking. Jeremy's got the inside line. Jeremy's made it with 6 minutes to go. Can he keep it? He doesn't want to ride the curbs. Oh, he's got very loose, and that's going to give it back to Terry, but he's managed to keep it. Look at that, total respect between the 2 drivers there. Fantastic racing, fantastic racing. Well done, guys. Great advert, great advert. I like that, Dimitri. I can't remember them. So Maverick, Dave, Chris Bourne, this Chris Bourne here, was racing with one leg for a good proportion of the season because he had an almighty operation on one of his legs. I'm sure he was faster. So, you know, and I think Stefan, am I right in saying you drive with one hand? Correct me if I've got that wrong. My apologies if I've got that wrong. Stefan drives with one hand. So consequently, don't let a disability hinder you. Use it as a progression. You know, so I think that's something you need to. There you go. Stefan's just confirmed that. So don't think it as an excuse. Try to use it as a positive and a motivation, because we do have guys who do have limitations. But you know what they've done? They've thrown them limitations out the window. And it's really important, especially this part of your life, to not be restricted by what you think as a limitation and use it. Well, Robert says he drives with half a brain. Well, fair comment. You said that, Robert, nobody else. Yes, Steve, I keep saying the number of drivers I see have improved. You know, Terry Howard, I know Terry's probably on the stream, he was earlier on. All of a sudden, from nowhere, he's on my bumper, then he passed me, and then the next few races he's there. So Terry's made massive, you know, strides. Terry Howard, Terry Trowbridge has improved. I could reel off all the drivers, you know, from every single group. Every one of them has improved. And I wouldn't like to say nobody has, because I do believe everybody has. You know, Nikos has took some criticism. Nikos, admit it, you know, you have took some criticism. But God, on your day, mate, you're absolutely a flying machine. You know, so we all know we can make mistakes, but it's that progression moving forward. Yeah, so Dave, Paul Moore's got a comment there. On a Monday we have what's called like an open race. Alright. Yeah, I could understand that. I appreciate, Dave, there, what you're saying about the depression. What I would do is Monday is an open race. We don't get penalties and stuff like that. We still race. We still race with all the intention of, you know, a league race, but it's a warm-up race. So yeah, people get cheesed off, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit more relaxed. You know, if you want to give it a try, I would say your Mondays is your best option. Get yourself in a car, GT3 car, get yourself on a track you like. Now, you know, if you like Donington's next week. If there's another track you prefer, wait for that track to come up and then give it a go. You know, at the end of the day, it's up to you how you feel at the end of the race. You may jump in there, you may forget about your back problems, you may forget about your injury, you know, your disability for that 50 minutes while you're on track. And you know what? If that's all you do for them 50 minutes is forget about your problems, that 50 minutes has been worth it. You know, I'm not an expert on things like depression and mental health, but I certainly know people suffer from it. And if we can make it easier for you to live with, jump on board with us. This is really dead. So, driver of the day, are we sticking with the guy who's... I mean, Reese has caught him up, but I think Merch has eased off a little bit. I think Merch's tyres are actually playing silly beggars with him now. I just need to find me a little window that's just disappeared on me, which is not really helpful. Oh no, that's really not helpful. That's not helpful at all. Oh, I've lost my Windows Explorer window. it's overlaid somewhere else, and it's really not helpful. I can't see my mouse. So what I'm going to try and do is maximise that, which shouldn't affect the stream, which it isn't doing, and hopefully I can now... Oh, there we go. Oh, right. So we're going for Merch. I know I said Merch initially, but I think Merch has been outstanding, to be honest. Not about being good enough, Dave. It's about enjoying it. You know, at the end of the day, you've got to give it a try, mate. You won't regret it. I don't think you regret it at all. I just need to find my list of drivers, which is easier than it sounds. There we go. Right, and I need to switch that one off, and I need to go to that one and save. that. Save that. So I'm just doing this while the race is running. I'll carry on chatting to you guys. I'm going to do that as that one. Save that away. And then what I can do is I can go into... or I could have done is I could have gone into... Come on. There you go. Streamlabs. I need to drive for the day and change that to be merch. So give me a second. Oh, all this technology, and I can't make it any easier for myself. I have tried, but I just can't. This is the easiest I can make it. Right, that's that done. Bring that up a little bit. So I think it's fair to say we'll go around with merch. Merch deserves driver of the day. Well done, Merch. Absolutely outstanding qualifying, outstanding driving there from the number 69 BMW. Merch Powerov is driver of the day. Take a bow, Merch. Very well done, my friend. Reese made it into second place. Fantastic race from Reese there as well. Chris Bourne in third, and you can see the back marks are starting to quit, and Alessandro in fourth. Derek Bird's coming over in fifth place. So Derek did actually gain one place in the end. John Saunders never managed to pass him. And Andreas, who also gained one place, has come over in seventh place. Jeremy Arabas, who has made two places, comes over in eighth place. Frank Roder, who started where he's finished, comes over in ninth place. Terry Trowbridge, who's made one place up, comes over in 10th. PJ Vitala, who's gained two places, is now being pressured by Ricard, comes over, if he can do it, in 11th, closely followed by Ricard, who did get a drive through. So there's Ricard coming over, and then Richard Columba, who's managed to keep ahead with a damaged BMW, 13th place in front of Melvin. Melvin again with a steady drive, 14th place, and then the other followers are the guys who've already finished the race. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for watching the stream. If you haven't already, make sure you click like. And I just want to say a thank you to PWS PreciousWashers.co.uk for sponsoring ACCTV and allowing us to do and deliver what we deliver. So I just want to thank you all and wish you a good rest of your day and a good evening. Thanks all. Goodbye.